Morning, guys. I got a awesome strategy I'm going to talk about with you guys. And me, I'm a mobile detailer, right? If you didn't already know that about me. So I have a good, hey Carl, what's going on, man? I've got a good insight to all the ins and outs of mobile detailing, right? And one of the biggest weaknesses that mobile detailers will experience is not even, having water and electricity and those kinds of things. It's being susceptible to the weather, right? So if it's raining or it's snowing or it's cold all winter and there's blizzards or whatever it is, a lot of mobile detailers have this issue with trying to overcome that, right? They just think, well, dadgummit, if it rains for 4 weeks, I just don't make any money, right? And that's not what you want, okay? I mean, eventually, when you blow your business up and you've got all these employees and things like that, you can't just take, 4 weeks off, right? Just because of the rain. So, there's a lot of ways around this, right? And so initially what a lot of guys will think, okay, well, this is what I'll do. I'll get a shop, right? I'll get a shop, or I'll have a home garage or something like that, right? Now the home garage thing, that's cool, that's great, but if you don't already have one, it's kind of expensive and difficult and a bit of a barrier to just go out and get a house with a garage, right? So I'm going to share with you the strategy I've used, right, to become completely invincible to the weather, and it hasn't cost me anything. I don't have a garage, I don't rent a shop, anything like that. It's joint venture strategies. That's going to be the bread and butter for you, man. So, to give you an exact example of one that I use, I arranged this about a year ago, and I still use it to this day, and it's freaking amazing. So there's a climate-controlled storage facility in my area, right? So it's this they've got, I think, like 300 or 500 little lots inside their building, right? Just massive climate control storage facility, and they store RVs, boats, fifth wheels. They've got some Rolls Royces in there, like high-end vehicles that you just wouldn't want out in normal garages or things like that. They really don't get driven that much, that sort of thing, right? And so I've partnered with them to be the exclusive guy detailing everything inside there, right? So they weren't even offering this as a service prior to me coming and partnering with them, right? Prior to that, they simply just stored things in there, okay? So here's the biggest secret to form a joint venture strategy. So what you can see what I've done there clearly is, if I'm ever rained out or it's super cold or whatever's going on, I can always go in there and take care of things, right? Got people on maintenance programs, folks that'll call and schedule details. I can go in there and do that, and it makes me impervious to the weather conditions, right? By partnering up with this climate control storage facility. Now, here's the big secret to forming a joint venture partnership, and you guys hear me talk about this all the time, right? You have to create a mutual benefit in the relationship, okay? And you want it to be sort of in a way where the other guy is getting more value out of it than you are. Same thing that we do with our customers, right? We want to give them something more valuable than what they're giving us, right? Which is our detailing services, saving them money, whatever, okay? So in this particular instance, this guy, okay, he didn't have a current detailing service. He wasn't offering this type of thing, right? So by me coming in and doing this, one, let's say that we didn't even split any money, right? I didn't even give him a cut of what I'm making detailing the stuff in here. Regardless of that, he is now, just by adding my company into his service offerings, he is now the premier climate controlled storage facility in all the land, right? He's the only one that not only can store your stuff for you all year round, right? You no longer have to winterize it, summerize it, any of that, right? He actually has a company partnered with him to, every time you take your boat out, put it on the river, bring it back, we're going to have it that day, within 24 hours, cleaned up, fresh layer sealant and wax, stored it away, right? If you've got, you know, your RV and you drove it from Alabama to California and back, and it's covered in bugs and junk and blah, 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 blah. We have this thing coated and protected to begin with. Once you get it back, same deal. We're going to clean it. We're going to keep it, you know, put a fresh layer of wax on it, keep these things perfect, okay? And then, of course, all of the benefits and connections that my company has, you know, to RV dealers and repair shops and oil change places, all this stuff, he has those connections now as well that he can offer to the people that store their stuff there, right? So he just made himself exponentially more valuable than any other storage facility by doing that, right? But of course, I do give him a cut of the stuff that I make, and he does get some cash out of it as well, which is even better, right? So the thing is, you want to provide more value to the other guy, right? Obviously, you've got to make money, you've got to get your share, but you want it to be like, dude, look, by doing this with me, it's going to make your business more valuable than anybody else. You can outsell anybody else. You'll have this market dominating position just by bringing me on, right? So I wanted to share that with you guys. If there's a lot of the guys, you know, when they're wanting to get coached, they want to join into the $1 Million Detailer Academy or something. They're like, well, I can't, you know, my biggest problem is during the winter time, right? From freaking November to March, I can't get any business, right? Because it's snowing all the time, or there's blizzards, or it just won't stop freaking raining, or blah, 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 whatever the excuses are, right? So I want to give this to you guys. Take that, run with that. If that's an issue you're having as a mobile detailer, and you will at some point, you know, unless you just live in some magical land where it never rains or snows, that can hinder you, right? And so, let's say later on down the road you have a massive business, or maybe you do right now, and you've got a bunch of guys working for you. You could have that partnership and just get you 1 or 2 guys. That's all they do is work over here in that facility, right? So, wanted to share that with you guys while it was on my mind. Make yourself impervious to the weather, right? Don't let something come into the business, okay, that's holding you back, keeping you from making cash, keeping you from growing. Solve it. And so take this strategy and use it. Use it. And if you have any questions about forming joint ventures or whatever, don't private message me. I get blasted with messages like constantly. Leave it in the group here. Start a thread, start a discussion, and we can talk about it. Thanks, Dane. Take it easy, guys. I'm out of here. Bye.